So if you guys have done 1-point perspective before, some of this basic stuff you can skip. How many of you have done a lot of 1-point perspective? Okay. So are we skipping cubes then?
Yes.
I've done that so many
Okay,
times.
so I won't make you draw cubes, but if you get to, so you're going to choose whether you want to do a hallway, a landscape, or the interior room. So you'll do one of those as a detailed drawing. And if you get to that and you're struggling, then you might want to go back and try the cubes. So the hallway, and I would use a ruler, and don't use a Sharpie. I want it to show up on my video. You start with the horizon line, the vanishing point. Does anybody know what I should do next? I'm going to draw a hallway.
We gotta
Draw a
have
line
it like
straight down.
The V thing.
yeah. Like make it look like kind of like 3D a little bit, like
Like your three-dimensional walls.
like
You're
a
getting
3D
there.
room kind of.
So the first thing I have to do is put
A square in the middle.
a square or a rectangle around the point. Now,
Oh,
the
yeah.
smaller this is, the longer your hallway will be. I'll show you that later. And then you're going to line up your ruler from the point to the corner out. You're not trying to hit the corner of the paper. You're just going from the point to the corner out. And again, I would do all this with a ruler. Point to corner out. Point to corner out.
Oh yeah, you're doing pretty good without a ruler. Okay.
It's because I'm drawing from my shoulder. All right, then, so when things are three-dimensional, you've got three things. You've got height, you've got width, and you've got depth. Those are the three things. So like in a cube, if I were making a cube, the height are the vertical lines, the width are those lines, and the depth are these diagonal lines going back into space. So on here, I'm going to do my height first. Now, when you're drawing things, remember further away, closer together, closer up, further apart. It's hard to draw around my stand here. Then we need the brick lines coming towards us, and they're going to create depth, right? Because they're going to be going away from us, and they're going to make it look long. So to create depth, we want diagonals. So we're going to go from the point forward, from the point forward, point forward. So these start to create depth. This is awkward. There we go. So now we've got height, we've got depth, and our width is right here. Now, ceiling lines, again, when they're further away, they're closer together. And as they get up closer to you, they get bigger. So those are just straight horizontal because those are my width. Now, to get depth on the ceiling, I need diagonals. So I go from the point forward, from the point. Do the same on the floor. So that's kind of your basic hallway layout that will look much better when you use a ruler and it's not all wobbly. Then you need to start adding things. Keep in mind this line is where the floor and the wall meet. So like if I'm going to draw a trash can or something, it needs to sit on the floor. A lot of times people draw them and they're floating. A trash can, I don't really have to worry about the vanishing point too much. If I were drawing something square, I'd have to worry about it. Like,
A dresser,
yeah.
picture.
I was trying to think what would be on the wall.
Picture
Oh yeah, a
frame.
locker. So if there's a picture here, I'm gonna make, this is facing me, so here's my height, here's my width, and then here's my depth going to that point, and then I'd want to end it So I don't know why there'd be a picture frame. Maybe it's, I don't know, there's a pretty painting on the wall. You can make, if you make doors and stuff, think about how tall they are. I can frame in a door here. A lot of people make doors and for some reason they're only like half the height of the hallway. So if I'm just making a regular door, I'd just have to frame it. And a door on the ceiling. I'd have to look at door handles and stuff, but and then I would shade this in so that it's not the same as the wall. But there's places in the hallway that go into another hallway. So if I make a horizontal line here and here, and I keep this line, I'm gonna make this a different wall. So it's not going away from us. So it's
Oh, I see.
straight vertical and straight horizontal because it has height and width, but it doesn't have depth because it's not going away.
And also it's like a locker.
And I'm gonna make this a different floor.
Uh,
So now you can walk in there. Harden up this line maybe. So it's like a different hallway going a different direction. So that's kind of basically the hallway. An interior room, I'll show you next because it's very similar. It's just that, okay, like I don't want to draw the school hallway. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. For a room, I would just make this larger. Because remember, the smaller you make that,
The more bigger it's gonna get. Yes, there's gonna be a door on the ceiling to a secret passageway. A secret passage leading to lots of things.